Now, Chief Meteorologist Mike Haddad with your Storm Watch 9 forecast.
All quiet for now. That will change tomorrow night as the next system with snow and some mixing moves in. Quite active on the roadways right now here in the Queen City, downtown. Granite Street and Commercial intersection showing lights everywhere. So a lot of traffic out there on the roadways, and roads are dry. 24 hours from now, still dry. After that, we track some snow and some mixing. Right now, 31 in the Queen City at the airport, dew point of 14, and the winds are calm at the present time. So looking ahead, 2 bouts of impact weather, one in the form of steady or light snow, possibly bordering on moderate for an hour or two Wednesday night into early on Thursday, even some rain and some mixing closer to the coastline. Then by Friday, in the wake of that system, gusty winds and chilly temperatures. As a matter of fact, winds could crank up over 40 miles per hour. Scattered outages not out of the question during part of the day on Friday. 20s and 30s, certainly cold enough to support snow, and tonight we're back into the teens and lower 20s. Few flurries for some right now. White Mountains, Great North Woods, even parts of the Upper Valley, they'll all tend to dry up over the next several hours, and we have a lot of sun early in the day tomorrow. But signs of the next system digging in over northern parts of Minnesota and southern parts of central Canada, in that system making a beeline towards the Granite State. So by the time it moves in and out of here, how much snow and mixing is it expected to bring our way? For much more on that, we'll bring in meteorologist Matt Honig to talk about all the numbers. Hi, Matt.
Hi there, Mike. Yeah, some snow on the way for areas that already saw some snow back on Thanksgiving Day, but also parts of southern New Hampshire that largely missed out on that snowfall. You'll get a fresh coating in some parts of the state later on tomorrow night into the first half of Thursday. Now, most of us pick up a general 2 to 4 inches of snow. Some exceptions to this, a little bit less than that. Areas along and near the coastline, there'll be a little bit of rain that mixes in for a time late Wednesday night, and that holds totals down in places like Portsmouth, Hampton, back into Salem and Epping, closer to a coating to an inch or two of snow. And then over the higher terrain of the White Mountains, a general 4 to 8 inches of snow. We may also get a little bit more than 4 inches of snow along this area of higher terrain from, say, Lake Sunapee and right down into the Monadnock region. In Jaffrey, this is how the snow adds up hour by hour. By 8 o'clock, the snow is just beginning there tomorrow night. Midnight, about 2 inches on the ground. By the time you wake up Thursday morning, there may be 4 or 5 inches. But in a place like Dover, where it's a bit warmer, we have some rain mixing in, it's probably just a slushy inch of snow on the ground by Thursday morning. Let's look at this system a little bit more in detail, and let's go hour by hour with it. Mike will have much more on that right now.
All right, thanks a lot, Matt. Here we go. Dry for now in many spots, as mentioned. Flurries to the north and far west. Notice a timestamp tomorrow morning. Fair amount of sun. Clouds press in as the afternoon wears on. Could be a bit of light snow north well in advance of that system around 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the evening. But then around 9, 10 o'clock, steady light snow for many. Fills in statewide as the night wears on. Some mixing again at the coastline right up through about 5 or 6 a.m. A chance that the mixing could work back in all the way to, say, Salem, Nashua, up to about, say, Raymond, and then points east to the coastline. On and off snow showers north and west, and mixed or rain showers near the coast on Thursday. And then Thursday night, the winds start to really crank up, and that's going to drive the temperatures much lower, and the winds up over 40 miles per hour by Friday. So tomorrow, 30 statewide. By Thursday, similar temperatures. And then on Friday, factor in the wind over 40 and the temperature. We're going to have wind chills of near 0 or below most of the day in the North Country, 10, 11, or 12, just barely at that with a wind chill in southern parts of the state. And again, same story tomorrow or Friday night and early on Saturday, and then that begins to ease up by later Saturday and Sunday. Look at the winds howling out of the northwest all day Friday. Some outages are not out of the question. So that's in the cards for Thursday and on Friday with the snow and mixing, and eventually the wind and the cold. The weekend, not all that bad, and we turn even a bit warmer, maybe more rain showers and snow showers along about Monday.